Hello and good evening to everybody present here and to all our viewers watching us online on different platforms like webcast, Facebook, and YouTube. So a very warm welcome to all of you today. And today's topic is very special, and it is called Uncaged from Criticism. And I think it's a topic that can resonate to all of us, just because we all face criticism day in and day out, right? And for that, we have a very senior Raja Yogi teacher. She has been practicing meditation for more than 40 years now, and she's based in the headquarters, international headquarters in London, Global Cooperation House, and her gentle nature, her wisdom, and her generous heart allows us to go in the depths of knowledge, and we are fortunate that today she's with us. And she's going to share the wisdom of how we can uncage ourselves from criticism. So I'll request Sister Charu to come on stage and guide us through the whole process. So we have Sister Charu Patel with us. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Good evening. It is a beautiful topic. And this morning I heard something, a liner, and that line was, "Oh mind, look at yourself in a mirror and to see what is good and what is not so good within yourself." So when I heard that line, then it really sort of felt that it's got something to do with criticism, because when I say the mind to look within, and that is what is within me, it is this energy, the soul. We speak, it's the energy, it's that soul that speaks through the organs of this body. It is that energy, very special energy, that sees through the eyes, and it speaks, does many actions through the day for so many years since our birth. And just that thought came that really it is for me to go within again and again to check myself. What happens that sometimes when I don't have the practice of seeing myself, the real me, then I'm actually looking outside to others. And what happens when I'm looking at others is that I'm seeing something not right in them, and thoughts start taking place on a negative level. When I look at others, it's something that they do. I'm not happy with that. And that is my own thinking, not necessarily someone is doing something wrong, but it's my own thinking that makes me think about others. And sometimes, initially, the criticism starts within the mind, in thinking, and then it takes the form of sharing few words, and those words are not nice words. in not nice way. And when there is an attitude that I have developed towards someone, because so-and-so is like that, so-and-so is like that, the person is always doing wrong things in many ways. Especially this happens in our family surrounding, working surrounding, where we work. We meet people, and then sometimes we look at others and how they are behaving, what they are doing. That's what I start taking within me, and not realizing that by seeing others with that external eyes, with that vision of faults, looking at others, I'm actually also becoming like that. Something that was not within me before, that starts taking place as well, just by thinking in the negative way. And so really, when I start checking myself, seeing myself with the eyes of wisdom, with knowledge, then I'm able to change my thinking, attitude towards others. And sometimes it also happens that we are actually also become critical for ourselves as well. We see it, and so it's not that I need to keep checking in the way that what are the wrong things that I'm doing. Yes, I've seen it, I've noticed it, it's come to my attention. Okay, make note of it, but don't get stuck in that, because no, I don't need to do that. Just same in the same way. Whether it's something not right in me, something wrong that I'm doing, or something wrong others are doing, let me not think too much about it, because it really drains our inner, very precious energy. The way that we think, what we think, it either decreases our inner energy or it increases the inner energy. And this is where it's like, I need to study where my thoughts are. And when I'm thinking on those lines, my feelings will be also on that line. If I have positive thoughts, there'll be positive thinking, there'll be positive feelings. If I have negative thoughts towards anyone, I will automatically have those negative feelings, because there is a very close connection between thinking and feeling and vision and the attitude. Because more and more I think about it, it goes deeper within my attitude. And so, as is my attitude, so will be my vision towards others, so will be my words, actions with others, interactions with one another. And so sometimes we do notice that. And so it is not somebody else is wrong or somebody else is being critical towards me, criticizing me, but it's the way that I take it. It's possible somebody may be criticizing me, criticizing us. It happens every day, here and there. Maybe even if it's not verbally, it happens in the mind as well. And it creates that kind of atmosphere as well. So it doesn't matter if somebody is criticizing me. I need to stay calm. Let me stay peaceful. Let me not react. Let me not respond in that same way. And it really, I had to pay attention on myself, and I need to develop that practice. Otherwise, what happens? how someone speaks with me, what one says to me, in the same way, I'm very much likely to respond to that person. And what happens after that? The way that you say something, you create some faults in me, you talk about the faults in me, mistakes that I'm making, you talk about it in a negative way. I will also, if I'm not in a positive mode, if I'm not being careful, what will happen? I will also respond in similar way. And sometimes we say, you're talking to me like that, you're telling me like that, but look at yourself. What are you doing? It's not the time for negative, in negative way discussion, speaking, responding. I need to be responding with positivity. Okay, there is something that I'm learning from that. Let me think about it. That there's something. And if I learn something from that, how somebody spoke to me, criticized me in a negative way, somebody said, commented, judging me, we don't like it. We don't like it. We say, look at yourself, judge yourself, then judging others. But let me take the positive angle from that. It's okay. It's okay. Somebody is pointing out something about me. Okay, let me accept it rather than rejecting it. It may be useful, perhaps later on, but let me keep myself calm, not reacting. And the other person will stop criticizing me. One step forward, what can happen? That when I am not taking it on board, what somebody is saying, how somebody is saying to me, the person is not going to continue to speak in that way, criticize me in that way. Let me gain so much strength within me, the power within me of silence, of peace, that I can just send very peaceful, powerful vibrations, good wishes to that person. And it works. It definitely works. When I'm not coming from any other motive, just completely, if there is just pure motive, it has to work. And the most benefit is I am not being hurt, because the hurt is on both the sides. Somebody criticizing, they're not happy, really. Internally, they are actually losing their energy. They're not happy. They're peaceless. There was something within that they wanted to let it out. And they just, whoever is in the front, and they just start speaking in that way. But if I have developed positive attitude, positive thoughts within myself, the good thoughts, the pure thoughts, pure feelings, then it would help that person for not being affected, but also becoming cool, calm in a very short time. When no reaction goes from our side, my side, for example, that person will just stop and will say, okay, there's something about it in this person. I said all the wrong things, got angry, and tried to do different things in front of other people. And this person is like as if not heard anything and still maintaining the good stage. And I'm aware of Dari Janki. I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen her and heard her. And my experience is that no matter if somebody has to say something to her, she wouldn't react. She would remain calm. And really, she'll have lots of good wishes towards that person, towards that soul, that energy that is sitting there. Because it's not the person's fault by saying something wrong, bad, whatever. It may not be the reality, yet that person actually has let out one's anger, one's bit of rubbish, and it's okay. There needs to be a place sometimes where you can throw rubbish. We can't throw rubbish everywhere. There's always a bin. There's always a special place where we can throw the rubbish. In the similar way, it's like, okay, somebody comes, somebody shares those negative things. Let me have such power within myself so that it does not affect me. It finishes there and there. And that person actually experiences good feelings, better, and feels better. So sometimes people do criticize, sometimes people do say many things to one another. It's not worth our time and energy to go deeper into that. Let me not get affected by that. And when we meditate, it helps. Meditation does help us calming down and not get affected by the things around us. And what happens is like something, this line, that we get so much knowledge, we read so much, we listen so much. But when I have not practiced on those lines, all the beautiful, powerful things, to be a great person, to do great things in the life, I need to practice. If I have not, then it does not help me when the situation comes in front of me. But when I have practiced, when I go deep within, in my thinking, feeling, then what happens? Any situation that is around me suddenly appears. I'm able to handle it easily. And every day we have situations, wherever we go. But it depends on how I manage to handle it. For one person, there may be a sin in front of us. All of us will actually take it differently. Somebody may take it as in a big way, and somebody will not even see it as something is there, or there is a situation there. Because one has the ability, one has that capacity within the soul, within the mind, that one is able to use the tools of wisdom, use the tools of knowledge. And so, in order for it to become part of me, I do need to spend time quietly with myself, with that energy. Need to go within myself. What is there within me? And we all know there is always good, there is always bad as well. But when I'm actually focusing myself on the qualities of peace, love, happiness, power, then I experience, and it grows within me. And I'm able to also draw that power from the Supreme, from the Source as well. And so, really, if somebody criticizes me, am I getting hurt or am I just stable? As if it's somebody's just talking normal. And sometimes it's the way that I take it. Somebody may be correcting something. Somebody probably have a positive intention behind that. But how am I taking? Sometimes I'm not able to take it rightly. And I may say that somebody is judging me, somebody is just commenting me. But if I become stable with meditation, bringing in the energy, becoming stronger and stronger, I will not get affected by people's comments, by others' judgments. In fact, we will be able to help them eventually, because they can get that vibrations. They would feel that no, something that I said, it was not right, not at that moment, in that way. But I don't have to remember. And sometimes what happens is that there are many situations, and we are surrounded by that, many situations, and we expect everyone to do as I am thinking, as I would like you to do. Now, nobody is going to do that. Sometimes in the family, children would do it because parents would say, the adults would say, the guardians would say, do it this way, don't do this, do this. Okay, they will accept it. But when it comes with love and with the right intention, then they will accept it and they will develop those skills as well. They will not just say, no, we're not going to do it. And so let me not have any expectations from all the members, whether in the family, at work. We have a lot of expectations. And when those expectations are not fulfilled, then there is criticism, you are not good, you are like that. But let me be beyond that. Let me not accept it. And however each one is, there is goodness in each and every one. There is something good that I can see, that I have experienced. Let me focus on that. Why do I need to look at something negative in the other person? No one is perfect. There are many things through the day I could be doing. It could be small things, but these small things become big, like a mountain. And how I develop certain kind of habits. And for me, it may be normal, but for somebody else, it may not be normal. So this is where I need to look at myself and let me accept everyone. If I start accepting everyone as they are, no expectations, then things will move smoothly. There is harmony amongst us with one another. But if I have the expectations, it happens often in the family. Sometimes we say at work too, that here is your task and you need to fulfill that. If it hasn't been fulfilled, there is comments, there is criticism. But I don't need to do that. Let that person carry on and then maybe help that person to fulfill that task, and the person will learn something further. And so it depends so much on myself that yes, however others are, I don't have to think about it. I don't need to speak about it. Let me accept from within each and every single person. And it's not always so easy either, especially we are in a situation from people that we don't expect, and they say something, what happens to us? And sometimes gradually, we lose trust in one another. In relationship, it happens. Somebody keep criticizing the other person. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes. Somebody keep telling me off. it doesn't help. And then what happens? If I'm not careful, if I'm not being myself, the strong, stable self, then I start creating a barrier. The other person may be normal, but within me, I start creating that barrier, and I'm not happy. Sometimes people would praise. If somebody praises, it makes me happy. But if somebody comments me, how happy I am. One day one can praise, another time the same person can actually talk about negative things. Is that going to make me upset? Is that going to hurt me? Then it's like somebody may be superficially praising me and it makes me happy. But that happiness is not the real happiness. That is just temporary. Yes, do praise. Let's talk about one another's beautiful qualities that one has. Nothing wrong, but that's come from heart. It needs to come from the heart. But if he's just superficially praising, complimenting somebody, it does not stay longer. One day, just doing it, another time, it can be negative. My stage doesn't need to be depending on someone's praise or someone's negativity. Let me go beyond that. And that should really help me. Why do I want to criticize? Why do I want to get affected by someone's criticism? I don't need to. And the tools for that is seeing the good in others. It's okay. It's okay. Allow the person to be critical for a little while. It's okay. Sometimes there is enough that is built up within us. And what happens? It only takes a second, something really small, for it to burst. And it's nothing to do with that last thing that somebody did or somebody said. It was not in that way at all. It was a very, very mild way. But because the bottle is so full, and so it's like the button is pressed and it just comes out. It's okay. Let me accept it. Don't worry. And this is where, like, if I keep practicing, keep looking at myself in a positive way, what is within me? So much goodness we all have. The soul, the energy within us. So let me focus on that. More I focus on that, that's what's going to be, I'm going to become. And that's what I'm going to create the atmosphere. That's what will spread everywhere, into the whole world as well. We meditate, we stay in silence, especially many times for certain purposes. Something happens in one country, everywhere something is happening. In our families, with friends, somebody is very unwell. There are different situations that families also go through. What can I do? What can we do when we send pure vibrations with lots of good wishes, good feelings? Those vibrations reach there to those people, those individuals, to give them the feeling of peace, love, and care. And so that is something that we can continue to do it. In that there isn't anyone who is negative, who is my enemy. No, nobody is my enemy. More and more purity, goes within myself, the soul, the mind becomes cleaner and cleaner, then I'm able to fill myself with just positive and powerful wishes, which we can then share with others, and it carries that power. Because how I am, what I have filled within myself, that is what I can share with others. It's like to do with the health. What I eat, that's what I become. There are certain illnesses appears, and they say, don't eat this, don't eat that, eat this and eat that at different timings. In the same way for the mind, for the soul, for this inner energy. What am I feeding? Am I feeding the beautiful, peaceful, powerful, positive thoughts or negativity? Sometimes we hear people talking about many things. Let my mind be connected with the positive things, but not negative things. Because if I get distracted by negative things, at that time, the power within is reducing because I have wasted that time at that moment, in that moment. So this is where, when I focus on myself, it can help. Otherwise, it's like there is so much goodness through the day we share with one another. One wrong thing somebody said, or I said to somebody, it becomes like, in the milk, when the milk is pure, it's very nice. But in the milk, when a drop of lemon is put, what happens? The milk is not anymore milk. It is not milk. It becomes curd, it becomes, you can use it for whatever you want to use it, but it's not anymore pure milk. In the same way, when I'm not attentive to my mind, to my thinking, my feelings, my attitude, then it also makes it's like a bit of rubbish goes in the mind, in the attitude, it actually spoils. And once again, I had to make effort. So I had to be so attentive on the thoughts that are going on within me. And so let me not comment to others. Let me not judge others. And it happens. Even if it doesn't happen verbally, sometimes the judgment takes place in the mind. And intellect also starts taking decisions on that level. And then I believe that. So even though something is wrong, yet I don't think that it is wrong. So this is why I do need to pay attention on myself, so that really the mind doesn't wander in unnecessary things, not in talking about negative things, not wasting time in negative way. Because it doesn't help. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help anyone else. It's the hurt. It's the pain we all experience. And we don't want to experience pain. But sometimes situation just comes up, and then we're not careful, and instantly we get affected. But this is where let me really also spend the time in a way like studying and increase the ability within myself so that any kind of situation will not affect me, will not bring me down. And for that, not just that I'm focusing on myself, but also let me connect myself with the source of all powers. Because when I connect go beyond things around me. And when I'm connecting with that source, the main source, the supreme source, that light, then I'm able to draw power, that light within me. And things that happens, it does not affect me anymore. So more and more, I have some meditation, practicing meditation with positive thinking, attitudes, feeling. It helps me. It helps us. It helps all of us. And I'm sure most of you must be meditators, because many these days now, since especially last few years, people have been going on working on meditations, to do yoga. And we all know that there is something within that. Just by speaking things, just by speaking nice things, the good stuff does not always help us. But how much am I practicing that? Like reminding myself, perhaps a few times in the day, perhaps first thing in the morning, reminding myself, who am I? I am that spark of light, the light that is so shining that it really shares light with so many others. And when I sometimes remind certain qualities, it really works, that I am a peaceful soul. I am a powerful soul. And when I remind that, let me remind through the day, going into silence, maybe 1 minute, maybe a few more minutes, especially when things are happening or something's coming up, let me go back to that thought that I had decided to work on through the day, that I am a peaceful soul. And if I remind myself, then that peace, that shanti, that will really help me to be peaceful. And I gather that peace more and more. I fill myself with that peace, the real peace, which can help me in the situations, the power that can help me in different situations. So, what I would just say that it's no joy. There is no joy in criticizing anyone, talking negative things to anyone, about anyone. Because sometimes we do realize when more and more deeper we go, we realize that even though I'm not saying something negative to somebody, but how I said something, what was the tone behind that? And it just really, it makes you feel, no, there wasn't total pure intention behind that. There was still that bit of the intention of hurting someone. But if I'm just an instrument, just to do something, then it will not affect me. And so this is where, like, 3 words that I heard again today, and I thought it's such a beautiful, very powerful words. Be nirman, be humble, be an instrument, and everything would be fine. And really, I do not develop any ego. If there is humility, if I'm just an instrument to do whatever that I'm doing, then it will not create any ego. What happens that it's our ego that hurts us. And it's our ego does not allow us to accept what others are doing, how they are doing, and why they are doing. It doesn't matter. So this is where I had to focus on myself and having good wishes, pure feelings for everyone. Anyone who comes in front of me with anything negative, it will not affect me. In fact, it will help others. It will help people to actually change their attitude, their thinking, their feeling. And so, more and more we do it, we feel that we are really progressing. Otherwise, it's like somebody may say today, your dress is very beautiful. Really, the best dress I've ever seen until now. And then tomorrow I say, that's the worst dress that you're wearing. It does not suit you at all. Whatever it could be, what is the impact of it? We don't want to depend on others in how they say what they say. Can I not be an example to just say the right things, do the right things? And it depends on my thinking, where my thoughts are. So much depends on my thoughts, on our thoughts. And the thoughts leads to the feelings and the attitude. No complaint about one another, no judgment. I'm content, I'm happy. No one can really disturb my happiness. No one can disturb my peace. It's a real, such a source. And that source is stored within us. I just need to remind, I am a peaceful person. I am a happy person. There is a lot of joy and happiness within me. I just have to tap into it to experience that. The joy, the real harmony with one another. And so for that, I'm aware I sometimes just keep the aim, different aims, different days, every day. But something that I hear, let me pay attention to that. And something that is best for me, that will be touched. And that is something that I need to practice for the day. And so as I said at the start, this line really, when I heard, it really made me think that yes, I need to look within, check myself, not check anyone else. Let others be as they are. They are so good. Each one is so good. Each one has got so many qualities. Remember that, rather than anything negative about that person, about anybody. We move forward. That person also moves forward. And I really feel the blessings, the good wishes from others, which can also help me to move forward. Because when I'm not actually judging others, accepting, even if they say something bad to me, let me not get affected. Let me be calm, peaceful. Let me go in silence, even for a few seconds, which can help me to maintain the stage of no effect of it, of whatever that was said, whatever that was done to me. And more we practice, we move forward. Further we go, there may be bigger situations may come, but I have learned, we learn how to move forward. There were certain situations before I was not able to take it, but with this practice working on myself, I have moved on. I manage those situations easily now. Similarly, moving forward continuously. And that helps us. So let me not judge. Let me not get hurt by what others are saying or they're doing, but let me accept. No expectations from others. Let me accept, and if there is anything that I can do, let me do it with positive attitude, with good feelings, which would help all of us, both of us, someone in that situation and myself. So it's very beneficial, very useful, and our relationship does not get affected. Otherwise, sometimes things just remain here in the head and it emerges time to time. So I think I need to finish now.
Anybody has any questions? You would like to ask anything?
Become free from that cage. Sometimes we do get trapped into certain things, but let me become free from those things, negative things. More and more positivity within me. Let me look at everything from the positive angle, then looking at it with this outer eyes. Let me look at it from inner eyes. There is benefit. There is benefit in anything that happens.
There is a question from the online viewers that when somebody criticizes, at that time it feels as if we are not grounded because we are reacting to it. And in that very moment, it's not easy for us to practice all this because our mind is somewhere else. So what are the practical tips that we can use instantly so that the mind can be stable and not come under the influence of the behavior of other people?
I would just say that in that moment, let me go into silence. Let me not think anything at that time. When I go into silence, it automatically keeps me calm. There is no margin for any other waste thoughts. And also what's going on inside that can also become quiet. And so going into the silence, keeping at that moment, even 2 seconds, 5 seconds, just not to think anything else. Let me just be silent and real silent. It helps. That power of silence helps us in whatever the situation is to handle it very well, easily. That's what I would practice to help me and to help the atmosphere, to help other people as well. Keeping the tools of wisdom, knowledge in front of me, which helps. Reminding myself, I am light. I am power. So it does not really go within myself then.
If I keep silence when there's somebody's criticizing me, if I'm quiet, wouldn't they think I'm weak because I'm not responding? Will it encourage someone to walk over me?
It is not a sign of weakness. And actually the person who's criticizing, and if I'm really stable within myself, being very positive and really having mercy, compassion on the other person who's criticizing, because they can't see that they are criticizing. they're not happy, so they say whatever they want to say. And yes, they get angry. It can hurt us very badly. But when I'm really going within and becoming silent, I'm gaining some power. When I gain some power, I'm able to just send those vibrations. It does not matter if somebody thinks that I'm weak. There is a difference when I'm weak, and there is a difference in being sensibly quiet. Because it's like if there is a fire, and if I put oil, it's going to become intense. So let me not respond at that time to create more intense situation, the worst situation. Instead, if I'm handling it with silence, let me still, with a smile on the face, carry on doing things that I'm carrying on. And the person later on will realize that my being critical, criticizing that person, getting angry to that person was not really right. And because of their ego, they may not come in front and agree or say that I'm sorry. It's okay, really, absolutely okay. I don't have to have the expectation of somebody saying sorry to me. Not necessary. They themselves realize it. When there's a pure energy goes towards the other person, it helps them. So my task is really let me be in that pure state, in a positive attitude, and send loving, pure vibrations, good feelings, good wishes. And it does work. It does work.
Thank you for that answer. And a last quick question. Are criticism real or just an illusion, meaning perception of other people?
The perception of other people is not necessarily real, definitely. And I think all of us will agree as well, because it's not what somebody is saying. So, and I have that weakness or defect, or that's what I'm doing. No, not necessary. It's the people, the way that they look at us. And so they will criticize because they're not being sensible, they're not seeing themselves. The other person is doing right things. Yet it's my own thinking that is making me that the other person is wrong. It's like expectations. I have expectations. You do as I say. And it's not going to work. And that is not the right. What I am doing is not necessarily all the time is right. And if I expect others to do as I'm saying, as I'm doing, it does not help. So definitely the perception of someone is not necessarily always right. But when I go into silence, then it does help me to get in a pure way, in a positive way, and finishing the negativity which can be there within me. And people do realize, when they realize it, that they say, it was not right. What I said.
Silence actually helps to discern how much to take and how much to not being influenced by.
Yes, yes. We become powerful. With silence, it gives us more power. And it doesn't matter what others are thinking. It does not matter. Let it be. It's okay. Good feelings, good wishes. You are good. May not say it externally because it may not be that helpful, but internally, with 100% pure intention, we can still see the quality of that person. Why not? And that itself actually helps us not to have any ill feelings towards that person.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful
you.
answers and very deep, wise session that we had today. I'm sure all of you have taken much benefit from it. And we'll finish the session with 5 minutes of meditation, and Sister Charu will guide us into reflective, meditative thoughts. And on your way back, you must have seen, I've seen a couple of new faces today. So on the way back, there's a shop downstairs, and the book that could help you understand today's session is Slaying the Three Dragons, Overcoming Doubt, Worry, and Fear, because these are the three emotions we tend to create through criticism. So you can have a look at it. And I would, next week, same time, same place, the topic is appreciating self-worth. So see you all again on next Tuesday. But before we say goodbye, I would request Sister Charu to guide us into a short meditation. Thank you.
So let us go into deep within in meditation, reminding myself, who am I? I am a very pure, peaceful, loveful, powerful being. I am a caring being. Deeper I go within myself, the soul, that energy, I am able to draw the powers. I'm able to touch on all the treasures that we have within ourselves. All the thoughts and feelings become positive, peaceful, and filled with light and might. More and more I remind myself of being a peaceful soul, the energy. I am able to let go of all the hurts that I experience, the various situations that we go through. It finishes. I'm able to remove traces of it, traces of all the negative things within the soul, within me. Sometimes we have used criticism to protect myself. I am letting go of that sort of defensive system of getting angry, being critical. And because more and more going within, I'm able to become more powerful, more caring, more loving, accepting everything, each one, no matter how one is, appreciating each one, whoever it is. No expectations from anyone about anything. So practicing daily, few times, by going within, with reminding myself with all the positive qualities that I have, that we have, it helps me to uplift me, to elevate me. It helps in our relationships with one another. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday between us, with each other. It is finished. There are things that I have learned from that situation. I've learned not to judge, be calm, move on. And things have changed, are changing positively. Not just for the self, but for others too. And this is a very good way of bringing change within me by checking the self and creating harmony with everyone. So, spending some time just in silence, there is a lot of benefit. For everyone. The atmosphere changes as well. I am caring. I am truly loving from inside towards everyone.